Mark Jones is the voice of the NBA on ESPN, but he is also the voice of the Sacramento Kings. And last night you called your game against the Celtics, the Kings game against the Celtics. So let's go there now. And why am I going to call this highlight when I have you here, Mark Jones, to break down De'Aaron Fox and the Kings hosting Jason Tatum and the Celtics?
Yeah, it had a great playoff vibe to it, Malika. When you look at the Celtics, number 2, Jason Tatum coming in, 30 points a game, and a great test, albeit on the second night of a back-to-back. De'Aaron was on his game early, and it was interesting to see how they were going to do offensively and whether, Boston could take them out of their stuff on the defensive end. Jaylen Brown is a handful, and everybody knows that this guy right here, Domas Sabonis, another triple-double. I mean, it must be Wednesday if he's notching another one, right?
Absolutely. And then Jason Tatum gets it to go. A little and one action with 1 second left in the first half of the game. Gets that to drop. It was a close first half, Mark Jones, and then some things started to get off the rails a little bit more.
Yeah, they started to get out in the open court a little bit, and Jason Tatum was a man possessed. He made some tweaks to his three-point shot in a couple of pregame workouts and was hitting from the mid-post, and really Sacramento didn't have anything for him in terms of being able to corral him at the defensive end.
And then in the fourth quarter, this is when it's a 15-point game. Jaylen Brown, who's been exceptional for Boston, going to work inside, gets it done there. Jaylen Brown, once again, Derek White finds Jason Tatum to put the finishing touches on this game. Let's take one more look at that, Janae.
Oh, my goodness. This guy, they needed this one right here. Confidence booster.
Well, after a less than stellar 15-point game in their loss to the Jazz, Jason Tatum, he got back to his usual ways, finished with 36 points in the win against Sacramento. He is now 39, has 39 30-point games this season. That matches Larry Bird for the most 30-point games in a season in Celtics history. And I was just sitting next to Mark Jones smiling as he was going through. I will never have that voice. Like, that is just, that's the good stuff right there. But what stood out to you from last night, Mark? Hey.
I'll work on it. I came away from it with the sense that, Sacramento is right there, Malika. Boston has already been there. But I think ultimately when it comes to the playoffs that Sacramento is going to have to make some defensive improvement. In the playoffs, we all know that the speed of the game is a little bit different. It slows down a little bit. But the beauty of Mike Brown's read and react conceptual type of offense is that everything starts with movement. There's not a lot of standing still. There's dribble handoffs. There's back cuts. So there's a lot going on there offensively. And, credit to Boston. They just played better last night.
Well, we can't talk about Boston and not talk to our resident Celtic, Big Perk. What did you make of that one?
The Celtics in their physicality, right? When Jason Tatum, when he's attacking downhill and playing with force, it's night and day for the Boston Celtics. When they decide to be that team that live by the three, die by the three, then all of a sudden it's a different story. But we see this Jason Tatum right here that's attacking the paint, using those wide shoulders, getting to the basket, cutting without the basketball, setting the tone, and playing with that passion, that tenacity. You can see it all in his face. This version of Jason Tatum is what we want to see, is what Celtic fans want to see on a consistent basis.
Well, the Sacramento Kings, though, going back to them for a minute, they're not just a sweet story, right?
No.
16 consecutive losing seasons. They snapped that. 16 consecutive seasons without making the playoffs. They are going to snap that. What's been the key to their success?
I think when you look at Sabonis and Fox, that dynamic has really been driving everything. Sacramento, a team that hangs its hat at the offensive end, the number 1 rated offense, high-scoring offense. And Mike Brown, if people were paying attention this summer, he put his offense in with the Nigerian national team. Shanae, I know you're feeling that, right? They defeated USA Basketball. People thought it was a fluke. It wasn't. But a lot of the elements in that offense that the Nigerian national team used are the same ones that Sacramento is using in a very prolific way right now. And it's hard to stop them.
Yeah, they're a pain to play against. I talked to Jordy Fernandez, their associate head coach there today in Brooklyn. He said, in the playoffs, they say things slow down. We won't slow down. We won't slow down. I like it. They play with pace, and they play with pace, to your point, in the half court. Everything they do in the half court is fast. Like, they're hard to play against. And it starts with the Sabonis dribble handoff game, pick and roll with Fox, and the dribble handoff game with Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray. Huerter's injured right now, but just like all the stuff they can do. You overplay the handoff, he just takes it to the rim and runs you over. He's a beast. And just look at all this stuff. Come up the gut of the court instead of the outside. Inside handoff, pick and roll. Sabonis, now you got to send crisis help because he's going to run that dude over. And Harrison Barnes gets a wide open corner 3. He misses, but process. Oh, and he makes it. I thought he missed that one. Sorry, Harrison.
Makes a lot of those, yeah.
And just this is the one that I know the Kings internally loved. Keegan Murray getting more aggressive, mixing it up with Domas and back cutting instead of coming for that handoff. Watch Domas' reaction when he catches this. Turns to the bench, pumps his fist and screams. That was a little moment for Keegan Murray, who I think is making a run at first team all-rookie. And remember, people kind of laughed at the Kings for picking him over Jaden Ivey. Keegan Murray is a good player.
That's a great dynamic that you point out there, Zach, between Sabonis and Murray, because that's his rook. And Perk, you know how important that relationship is when you've got a vet like Sabonis that's not making you get donuts every morning, not making you wear the Dora backpack. He's encouraging him. Sabonis does that for all of his teammates. Terrence Davis, another guy who is a key part off the bench for Sacramento, encouraging him all the time. And, you know, what Fox has done, I think, though, has really been remarkable. Mike Brown has coached him as hard as De'Aaron's been coached all year. And De'Aaron, to his credit, has responded. And Mike will be quick to call De'Aaron out a lot of times in front of the team, so everyone else has to fall in line, and Fox has been great handling that.
Can I just say that no DeAndre Ayton, as long as Mark Jones is here, that's deleterious.
Very pejorative, very hurtful, yes.
Deleterious.
Yes.
Say it again.
Deleterious. Exactly, I like that.
That seems like a Mark Jones word.
It is. Did you do this with your daughter Sophia when you guys were on the call together? Was there some vocabulary that went back and forth? I loved this moment, Mark Jones, when you got to call a game next to your daughter. I said this on our show before. I don't think I have ever. We've seen brothers call games. We've seen fathers and sons. I have never seen a father-daughter duo.
Guys, it was right up there with being able to call the NBA Finals last year. My daughter, Sophia, her middle name should be League Pass because she stays up and watches throughout her adult life.
Sophia's better.
Yeah, Sophia's better. Her middle name, League Pass.
LP.
LP, there you go.
SLP.
She'll be sitting down on the couch with me, you know, saying, "Oh, Daddy, that was a great rip screen," or "Man, that was a fantastic pocket pass. They ran zipper that time." Or she just knows the game. She grew up around the game, plays at San Jose State as a sophomore. So that was a highlight for me.
But your older daughter's ringtone is what? It is the call.
We're a Miami Heat family because they grew up in Miami. So it's the call of Ray Allen's miraculous Game 6 shot. Every time you call my daughter Glory Jones, you'll hear that when she doesn't answer.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.